I never thought I'd see the day when my own sister became my biggest enemy. We used to be inseparable, two halves of the same coin. Growing up, we shared secrets under blankets, cried over broken friendships, and promised we'd always have each other's backs. But that promise shattered the night I found out what she had really been saying about me behind closed doors. It started innocently enough. I was at a friend's gathering, just sipping soda and making small talk when someone casually said, "Oh, you're Sarah's sister, right? She told us you're kind of lazy, that you never really try at anything. That must be hard for you." I froze. The words cut sharper than any insult from a stranger. Lazy? Never tries. From her, the person who knew my struggles, my sleepless nights, the way I pushed myself through school while balancing work. I laughed it off in the moment, pretending it didn't matter, but my chest felt heavy all night. Over the next few weeks, more things came out. Friends of friends started slipping in little comments. "Your sister said you always need attention," or "She told us you're dramatic, but I don't think you are." Each time, I smiled on the outside and cracked a little more on the inside. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. One evening, I confronted her. The house was quiet, just the two of us sitting in the living room. I asked her straight out, "Why are you talking about me like that to people? Why are you making me look like some pathetic joke?" At first, she denied it. But when I pressed, her face hardened and she said words I'll never forget because it's true. "You're like that?" And honestly, people need to know what you're really like. I just stared at her, stunned. My sister, the person I trusted more than anyone, had been tearing me down, not just behind my back, but proudly. So I called her out, loudly. I told her she was cruel, jealous, two-faced. I told her she wasn't a sister to me anymore, not if she could talk about me like that and justify it. Her response? She stood up, walked away, and since that night, she hasn't spoken a word to me. Not a text, not a glance, nothing. The silence is louder than any fight we've ever had. It feels like a wall has been built between us, made of betrayal and pride. I keep replaying everything in my mind, wondering if I went too far by confronting her or if the real betrayal was hers, poisoning the way people see me. And the cruelest part? My parents have noticed the distance but don't know the truth. To them, it just looks like I exploded at my sister out of nowhere. They keep telling me to apologize, to make peace, to be the bigger person. But how do you make peace with someone who chose to betray you first? Now, whenever I see her post pictures online, surrounded by the same friends who once whispered her words back to me, I feel that sting all over again. She's smiling. She's fine. And am left with the pieces of what used to be our unbreakable bond. Weeks turned into months, and the silence between me and my sister became its own language. At family dinners, she sat across from me, scrolling on her phone, laughing at jokes I wasn't included in. Our parents noticed the tension, but every time they brought it up, it somehow became my fault. "Can't you just let it go?" My mom pleaded one evening as we were cleaning up after dinner. "She's your sister. You two are supposed to stick together." I wanted to scream. Let it go? How could I let go of the fact that the person I trusted most decided to tarnish my name just to make herself look better? But the real breaking point came a few weeks later. One of my co-workers, a girl I wasn't even close to, approached me at work with a hesitant smile. "Hey, this is awkward, but your sister told some people you failed one of your college classes and blamed the professor. She said you always make excuses." I felt the blood drain from my face. That was a private struggle, something I had cried about to my sister in confidence. She wasn't supposed to weaponize it, let alone broadcast it to random people. I went home furious. That night, I texted her, "Why are you spreading my personal struggles to everyone? Do you get something out of humiliating me?" She didn't reply. The next morning, I saw her social media story. A blurry screenshot of our text with the caption, "Some people can't handle the truth." I wanted to throw up. It wasn't just betrayal anymore, it was public humiliation. I realized then that she wasn't just talking behind my back, she was deliberately trying to paint me as weak, dramatic, pathetic. And the worst part? People were starting to believe her. Our relatives began acting differently toward me at gatherings. Subtle, but noticeable. My uncle asked me, "So, are you still working or just taking some time to figure yourself out?" My cousin smirked when I walked into the room, whispering something into my sister's ear that made her laugh. I finally snapped at our next family event. In front of everyone, I said, "Do you all know where these stories are coming from? Do you know why you suddenly think I'm lazy or dramatic? Because I pointed at my sister, whose face went pale, has been spreading lies and half-truths about me for months. She calls me her sister, but she's been tearing me down to everyone who'll listen." The room went silent. My sister immediately started crying, claiming I was exaggerating, twisting things, making her look bad. Our parents rushed to comfort her while glaring at me as if I was the villain. Why would she make all that up? My dad asked me later, his voice full of disappointment. "She's your sister. You should support her, not attack her." That night, I cried harder than I had in years. It hit me. Not only had my sister betrayed me, but she had manipulated everyone else into thinking I was the problem. The next few weeks were hell. Friends drifted away, uncomfortable with the drama. My own parents started treating me like the unstable one. And my sister. She was thriving, soaking up all the sympathy, painting herself as the victim of my supposed jealousy. But then something unexpected happened. One of her closest friends messaged me late at night. "I think you should know." The message began, "Your sister talks bad about all of us. She said I was pathetic for staying with my boyfriend. She said another friend was boring. Honestly, it's only a matter of time before people realize what she's really like." Reading that, I felt both vindicated and devastated. It wasn't just me. She betrayed everyone. It was like tearing down others gave her a sense of power, a way to feel above everyone else. And suddenly, I saw the truth. This wasn't about me at all. It was about her. Still, the damage was done. My relationship with her feels beyond repair. My reputation in our circle has cracks that may never heal. And as much as I hate to admit it, part of me still aches for the sister I thought I had, the one who promised we'd always protect each other. Now, I'm left wondering, do I keep fighting to prove the truth to everyone else, or do I walk away completely and cut her out of my life? Because the deeper question is this: when betrayal comes from blood, how do you ever really recover? I decided to distance myself. I stopped calling, stopped texting, stopped even trying to explain my side. At first, it was agonizing. Every instinct in me wanted to fight back, to clear my name. But then I realized, the more I tried to defend myself, the more my sister twisted my words and painted me as obsessed or jealous. Silence, ironically, became my only weapon. But silence didn't protect me for long. One day, I got a call from my mom. Her voice was tight, controlled, almost rehearsed. "Did you really tell your sister you were going to cut us all off once you get married? That you don't need family anymore?" I froze. I had never said anything like that. But I didn't need to guess who had planted the idea. "No, Mom," I said, my chest tight. "She's lying again?" There was a pause, then a sigh. "You two need to work this out. You can't keep dragging us into your fights. Dragging them into our fights." She was systematically poisoning my image to my own parents, and somehow I was the one accused of creating drama. The tipping point came when she crossed into something more personal. I had been dating someone quietly for a few months. His name was Daniel. We weren't serious yet, but he was kind, patient, the kind of person who actually listened to me without judgment. For once, I felt like I could breathe. Then, out of nowhere, Daniel pulled away. He stopped calling as much, stopped making plans. Finally, when I confronted him, he admitted, "Your sister messaged me. She said you're manipulative, that you make up stories for attention, and that I don't know, exaggerate drama with your family." My stomach dropped. "She what?" I asked, my voice shaking. He hesitated. I didn't want to believe her, but she seemed really convincing. "She said she was worried for me, that you'd end up dragging me into your family chaos." In that moment, I realized this wasn't just about sibling rivalry anymore. She wasn't content with mocking me behind my back or stealing sympathy. She wanted to isolate me completely, friends, family, even love. I felt a rage I didn't know I was capable of. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I confronted her in public. It was at a family gathering again, this time a bigger one, with cousins, aunts, uncles, even grandparents. I waited until she started spinning another one of her casual digs about me, something subtle like, "Well, you know how dramatic she can be," and I snapped. "Do you ever get tired of lying?" I said, loud enough for the whole room to hear. "Or does tearing me down make you feel powerful?" She looked shocked at first, then put on her victim mask, complete with watery eyes. "I don't know what you're talking about," she said, her voice trembling just enough to seem authentic. "Yes, you do," I shot back. "You told Daniel I was manipulative. You told Mom I said I didn't need this family. You've been feeding everyone half-truths and gossip for months. And you know what? I'm done pretending this is just sibling drama. This is betrayal. Plain and simple." The room was silent. Finally, my grandmother spoke. Her voice was sharp, cutting through the tension. "Is this true?" she asked my sister directly. For the first time, I saw her crack. Her confident smirk faltered. She stammered, denied, tried to spin it, but the seeds of doubt were already there. People were looking at her differently now. Later that night, my uncle quietly pulled me aside. "I believe you," he whispered. "She has done the same thing to others. You're not crazy." It was validation, yes, but also crushing, because it meant this wasn't just me. My sister had a pattern, a habit of betrayal that left wounds in everyone close to her. Still, the damage with Daniel was done. He broke things off a week later, saying he needed space. My parents, though less openly hostile now, still clung to their both sides are wrong narrative. And my sister, she doubled down, posting cryptic messages online about toxic people who pretend to be victims. The worst part? A tiny part of me still wanted her back. Still wanted the sister I used to have, the one who held my hand when I was scared of thunderstorms, who swore we'd always protect each other. But that girl was gone, replaced by someone who thrived on betrayal, on control, on leaving me in ruins. And as I sit here now, writing all this down, I wonder, what do you do when the person who betrays you isn't a stranger, a partner, or even a friend, but your own flesh and blood? Do you keep trying to fight for her love, or do you finally accept that the bond is broken forever?